Talking politics may be taboo at the dinner table, but I'm here to talk about one of the biggest issues involving American politics and society in general. No, I'm not talking about terrorism in the Middle East or the fact that the Bushes are forming a dynasty. It's the gay agenda. One major issue that LGBTQ+ people and their allies like to point out is the ban on same-sex marriage in 14 states, some of which, including Georgia, refuse to recognize same-sex couples who were married in other states. Obviously, the first thing to discuss is the actual implications of the word marriage. Marriage, according to anthropologist Kingsley Davis, is the social recognition and approval of a couple's engaging in sexual intercourse and bearing and raising children. Using this definition and the knowledge that language doesn't change over time, we are able to assume that only a man and a woman should be allowed to get married because they are able to produce and raise offspring, thus proving that despite our various achievements, we really are no better than apes. This is also the reason that we don't allow sterile people, elderly people, irresponsible people, or people who don't want children to get married. Naturally, this brings up another important point. Think of the children! Same-sex partners don't provide stable family units. The child will not have a male and female role model, as most parents prefer to raise their children without the help of friends, relatives, teachers, and other potential role models of either gender. Just look at the deprived babies. In addition, homosexuals are apparently more likely to have casual sex rather than committed relationships, and even within committed relationships, they may not remain sexually faithful. The sanctity of marriage would be destroyed. It's not like there are same-sex couples who've waited their entire lives to be married, or straight couples who've separated after, say, 55 hours. Let's talk to real-life lesbian Caya Knight.
Personally, if I chose to ever get married or was allowed to get married, it would be with somebody I actually cared a lot about. I mean, I'm not going to marry somebody who I know I'm going to not be interested in 10, 15 years.
Just awful. Yet another obvious reason to ban gay marriage is that it doesn't enhance the happiness of straight couples, and may even make some feel uncomfortable, such as teenage blogger Duche Ba.
Alright, can you please pronounce your name for us, Miss Bag?
It's Ba, it's Duche Ba. The G is silent.
Alright, where are you from, Miss Ba?
Around here, I've moved around quite a bit, so I'm actually quite worldly. So, I was in Florida once. It was nice.
Alright, so how do you feel about homosexual marriage?
To be clear, I'm not against gay people. I get really uncomfortable when they shove it in my face all the time. It's like, I run a very successful Tumblr blog about dogs. You should check me out at dogs.tumblr.com. Anyway, it's about dogs, and this girl exploded in my ask box about posting a picture of a dog, and she was talking that I should have tagged it and that it was a trigger or something. I don't know, but if I have to tag a picture of a pit bull, then I think gay people should just have their homosexual relationships where I can't see it because it triggers my uncomfortableness.
Alright, thank you, Miss Ba.
You're welcome.
Wake up, America! Do you really want the sin of homosexuals corrupting our innocent youth? Allowing same-sex marriage would forever change society's expectations of marriage. What's next? People will be allowed to marry their siblings, babies, dogs, lamps, other objects or people that are clearly incapable of understanding and signing marriage documents? The last important point to bring up is the relationship between marriage and religion. Since we live in a theocracy, religious beliefs must be taken into consideration before making a decision about whether or not to ban gay marriage. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13 says, "If a man has sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable." Naturally, this verse is still applicable to today's society, as are the verses that claim shellfish is unclean and clothing made of mixed fibers is a thing to be avoided. After all, who cares about the happiness and well-being of homosexual people? It's always important to make sure that the most privileged group continues to feel validated. This video is brought to you by the organization of people who are afraid of change and feel uncomfortable and everything isn't about them. Thank you for your time.